You're watching Spirit Spotlight.
Hey everyone, and welcome into Spirit Spotlight. I'm Mark Pearson alongside Dylan Clark. And boy, a busy week, and the Spirit are rolling right now. 4-1 since the break, 5 of their last 6. But it does come with some sour news, of course, this week. Gervais, Sema, both got traded, both assistant captains. What can you give us details about that?
Yeah, well, it's that time of year, and a couple of years ago, the trade deadline was new faces coming in, big pieces being added for the Memorial Cup, for the playoffs, and now this is kind of the other side of it, trying to restock, reload, and move into I guess a different time. It's a transitional period. It's tough to say goodbye to those guys. Gervais and Barch go to North Bay. Nick Sema goes to the Ottawa 67s. The positive side of it, the silver lining, you get a lot of draft picks back. The Spirit get 5 draft picks back in the deal with North Bay. They get 3 of them back in the deal with the Ottawa 67s, and that's the reloading aspect of it. I know these decisions don't come easily, especially for players that have been here for 4 years, players that have been here for probably the golden age of Spirit hockey. I think it's probably fair to say. Obviously wish those guys well, and you got a lot to be thankful for. You appreciate the time together, and wish them the best moving forward.
And you talked about that Memorial Cup team. Only a few guys remain because of that.
Yeah, and it's strange how quickly that kind of stuff can change. So Michael Misa and Zane Perek move on. They had a bronze medal win with Team Canada at the World Juniors, and they're continuing their NHL journeys here. For the remaining guys, James Go's the only guy left that was on that roster that played in the Memorial Cup, but there's still that experience that was around for the postseason run. Josh Glavin, Liam Storch, those guys were around. They were a part of it. Carson Harmer and Caleb Papineau, they didn't see a ton of action in that run, but they were around. They were around that group of guys. They were on every road trip. They were a part of the skates and all that. So there's still that connection there to the 2024 Cup team, and there's still that know-how as far as winning is concerned, and still a lot of players with a ton of talent that are on the younger side. But it's interesting how just 2 years back, not even 2 years on from that Memorial Cup run, that the only guy that played games down here at the Dow Event Center in those 10, 12 days in the spring of 24 is James Go.
It is pretty wild, but amid the trades, this team's rolling right now, and they have young talent that's getting recognized league-wise. What can you tell us about that as well?
Yeah, and you don't want it to overshadow the way they're playing right now, because they have been playing their best hockey this season so far. Like you said, 5 out of the last 6, 4 wins since coming back from the holiday break. So whatever rest the guys got, whatever time with family and friends, it was well spent, and they're in top shape here coming back for the second half of the season. Igor Barabanov, OHL Performer of the Week, 9 points in 5 games. Woo. Nikita Klepov, the OHL's Rookie of the Week. And you know what? Every time he comes out with a Rookie of the Week performance or something like that, you kind of, at least personally, I kind of forget that he's a rookie in this league. Just the way he performs, the way he produces, the way he carries himself out there. It seems like he's been around for a lot longer than that. And obviously, it's a big year for him going into the NHL draft. Barabanov as well as a re-entry player. This is his 3rd year of NHL draft eligibility, and it's good to see him hitting his stride here. So a good week for those 2 guys, and they're looked upon and counted on to carry the weight here for the Spirit.
What can you say about this young talent and young core? Obviously a tough week this week with the trades, but going forward, they still have plenty to play for and so much talent that can still get the job done.
Yeah. For those 2 guys, they're looking to secure themselves the highest spot possible in the NHL draft, and it opens up the door for some of the other guys to step into those roles that are vacant now behind Gervais, Sema, Hayden Barch. Everybody kind of slides up, and we've seen. In the absence of some guys, whether it was injuries or suspensions, the younger guys have done well to step up and kind of make some noise and occupy those spots. Saginaw just got Ryan Hanrahan back from a longer injury. He missed 20 games, so they get their first-round pick back, and it was good to see him get kind of his first shifts together on Saturday against the Sioux Greyhounds. Looked a little bit more like himself on Sunday, knocking some of the rust off. It doesn't matter how old or I guess how young you are. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get back to your speed and your pace of play that you're used to playing. Hanrahan was a first-round pick in this league for a reason, so he's going to be one of those guys that's going to step up here big time in the second half of the year. And I've kind of been saying that as the year's gone along, a lot of times the Spirit go as their second line goes, which for the last little while has been Brody Popoy, Carson Harmer, and Jacob Kluche. Those guys have been playing fantastic hockey recently. Popoy's been almost a point per game player in the last month or so. And he's another guy looking to put his name as high on NHL draft lists as possible. He's done a really good job of it so far, and I think I know he's going to get a lot more opportunities.
And a big week coming up for the Spirit. They have 3 games, 2 at home, 1 on the road. Any fundraisers or fun things going on here at the Dow?
Yeah, you know what? We're fresh off our food drive with Corteva from last weekend. Over 9,000 pounds of food collected. It was, I thought it was the record. We were close to what we were able to grab last year. So again, massive thanks to the Spirit fans who came out to that game on Saturday with Corteva. And you can always count on Spirit fans to show up when it comes to community stuff. And we were able to have our food distribution earlier at the Dow Event Center, feeding the families and the friends that need some help here in the region and in the area. And again, with Corteva and all the local food banks that came out to help us out with that. So great week, great time there with them. And 2 games at home this week, Thursday against Kingston Frontenacs, Saturday against Windsor Spitfires. We're down the road in Flint on Friday night in between. So a lot of hockey here. We'll have our 989 Connect night on Thursday against the Frontenacs, celebrating some of the local youth sports prior to the game. So there's still a lot to be done here in the Dow Event Center.
Trade deadline coming up on Friday. Of course, we'll keep our eye to it. But that's the Spirit Spotlight. Dylan Clark, I'm Mark Pearson. We'll see you next week.